Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. This is Andrew. Welcome to another one of my video reports. Now, today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to you today about media propaganda and something that kind of hit me this morning. And I was thinking about this, about what is going on within the media. And what's going on between how they spin stories, and they tell you some truth, or they tell you some half truth, or they tell you some complete lies. And I just realized, and I do have credentials. I have a BA in communications. And let me just start off by, and this is something I meant to do, but I've sort of neglected to do. Right now, what I'm trying to do is just start a general YouTube channel, trying to go over some news, go over some current events, just go over, pretty much whatever is on my mind in these arenas. I have a associate's degree from the Holyoke Community College in communications. During my time there, I had produced my own sports radio talk show. It was pretty much a variety show technically, but I mainly wanted to be a sports radio talk show host. And it was something I wanted to do for a career. Of course, things changed back then. Later on, I transferred over to UMass Amherst, where I continued to study communications, earned a BA, cum laude with a 3.5 GPA. I spent time working for various organizations. I worked for an individual who had his own community access show that had aired, and the show in particular was called Midweek Politics. Since then, it's been renamed as the Dave Peckman Show. So I worked for that show over the winter during my final semester at UMass Amherst. When I did a variety of things over there, I did some marketing, some technical skills or technical things. I went from that, and I took a sales job from the Boston area. And I traveled here to the Boston area to do business-to-business sales. It didn't quite work out, especially the way I wanted to. In the 3 weeks I there, I only made one sale. I only sold like one thing, and mainly it was just in office supplies. But it was an interesting experience. I went from that to interning for ESPN 1450, the affiliated radio studio down in Springfield, Massachusetts, located in the Basketball Hall of Fame. And I had worked for them mainly just running the soundboard, the mixer, making sure the show is on air, which was very important. I did a little bit of customer service. I worked on certain contests, not developing contests, but just helping people taking down their information out to make sure that they're getting the prices that they need for these contests. So I have a little bit. My point is, I have a little bit of experience in media. I've studied it. I've studied mass communications. I've studied digital media. I've studied advertising. I studied pretty much everything there is that you need to know in order to feel comfortable talking about these subjects. And I want to segue from that into what I believe is going on in mainstream media. And I think there are several things going on in mainstream media. And people run around, they demonize it, it's bad, it sucks, it's all this other stuff. Some of it's true, some of it's not. Some of it is just people are saying stuff out of pure ignorance, who coin themselves as being in the truther movement. As far as that, I don't see myself as being part of that movement. I try to stay away from those type of groups. Not because the groups themselves are inherently bad. A lot of these groups are good. It's just they become political football, and if you're not part of this group, then you're a loser, or you're defamed in some way. Even if you disagree with a little bit of what they do, what they don't do. The point is, what I really want to get into is mainstream media, and this really just hit me this morning, was I realized, because I saw an article from one of the affiliated stations right here near the Springfield area, the television stations. I read this article, and I'll try to find the link, and I'll post it underneath the video. But basically, they were talking about the economy, and they were talking about how much better the economy has gotten and it will get, and things are turning around and things are better. Of course, it's not true, and they were using certain statistics, and this was a while since I read the article, so I don't remember specifically in terms of statistics what they were pointing to, but I'm pretty sure they were pointing to, unemployment rate, things like that. They're saying, things are getting better. But that was the overall theme of the article. And I read it, and I'm like, come on, I can't believe they're actually posting something like this. This is farther from the truth. And I went on and I tweeted to them, and I said, look, this stuff that you're reporting here is just simply not true. Now, it may be true because it may be true in the sense that this is what the government is saying. The government is saying the unemployment rate is 7 point something. That's what they're saying. But that's not actually true, and it's not actually accurate, and that's my whole point in that tweet. I didn't get a response from them or anything, but going back to what just had occurred to me, I realized that, and let me just preface by saying this, not everybody in mainstream media is bad, not everybody is evil. There are good people in mainstream media. And what I believe is that a lot of these people, what they try to do is they try to tell a lie that is so bold and that is so in your face, that is so obvious, that there's no other way to describe it, that really, in essence, they're actually really trying to tell the truth. It's kind of like what Aristotle did with the church. When Aristotle had, and I studied a little bit of philosophy as well, when Aristotle was researching into some of the things he was researching, which was controversial to the church, he did things to try to hide his findings. In order to do that, he would do it through a symbol, some sort of symbology. Now, I believe that there's a little bit that's going on here in the mainstream media. In some cases, not every case, and maybe I'm just wrong, and this is just purely speculation. But I think what's happening is the mainstream media, or certain elements of it, are actually reporting things false on purpose, not just to fill an agenda. Of course they're trying to do that. But they're actually trying to lie as badly as they are, because in essence they're trying to tell the truth. They know things are horrifically bad. But if they decide, okay, well, I'm actually going to tell the truth, well, the truth is never going to get published. Or maybe in some cases the truth does get published, they themselves get fired, the individual writers or editors or video producers, video personalities. So instead of choosing to get fired or get laid off or have to resign, they decide to work with the system, and in essence, when they decide to work with the system, they come out with propaganda pieces that are so outrageously lies that, in essence, they're, like I've been saying, they're really telling the truth. I don't know if this is making any sense to anyone, but it might make a little bit more sense once I post the article. But in essence, what I really am trying to say is they're telling the truth by telling an outright lie. They're telling the truth by reporting the opposite of the truth, of actually what's happened. And they're doing it to cover themselves so they don't get fired. But they know that their readers and their listeners, depending on what medium platform you're talking about, the listeners themselves know it. They know that everything is bad and everything is horrible with the economy or political situation. And maybe these people in media and mainstream media, some of them are depending on their listeners to be a little bit smarter, and to be able to, be in the comment section and other platforms as well, to call these individuals out and say, hey, look, this is actually what's really going on with the economy. You're saying one thing. Here's what's actually happening. You guys got to tell the truth. So maybe in one form or another, they are really actually trying to tell the truth, except they're trying to do it as a way, they're trying to tell a complete lie. They're trying to tell the opposite of the truth in order to tell the truth. So take care, guys, and have a great day.